Thank you, Mr. Zambo. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us close to the conclusion of a very interesting discussion. I think, first of all, in talking about partnerships, I would like to extend my appreciation for the interventions made by Mr. Volker Turk, USG Mondale, as well as USG Liu Jianmin, who have outlined the important role which the United Nations has played in the face of this crisis, in building multi-stakeholder partnerships at the country level, at the regional level, and at the international level, including by the Secretary General's timely action to establish the Recover Better Fund to mobilize emergency responses to so many developing countries and poor people around the world. I think that needs to be noted. We have also had an interesting discussion and insights, the CEPI's role in building COVAX, the private sector, ESG, search for ESG investment, and the heartening story of the citypreneurs who have mobilized $51 billion for projects in urban locations around the world. We are talking today about an emerging concept, which Mr. Wandel mentioned, of networked multilateralism, which should be guided by inclusiveness, equity, flexibility, transparency. It would be a networked multilateralism that could be actualized through the access to new technologies, particularly through digitalization. And here, I think we have talked about networking within areas of interest among the SDGs, but we could also think about networking across areas, across regions, and across topics in order to synergize to the maximum the benefits of partnership. It is heartening to see that everyone recognizes the role of the United Nations in being the foundation for such a networked multilateralism. And we welcome the participation of the civil society and the private sector. And my only disappointment was that our friend from Morgan Stanley, when it came to investment in infrastructure and sustainable development, felt that there was no role for the United Nations. I would disagree with that. I believe that the United Nations can play a very helpful role in promoting the environment and the basis for the private sector's larger participation in sustainable investment in the developing countries. But this is a concept of the network multilateralism, is a concept which is at its genesis. We have learned from the crisis we should build for a sustainable future for such networked multilateralism with the United Nations at its center. I thank you all for your contribution and your participation, and I look forward to working with these partnerships in the future. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.